What was once supposed to be TakeOver Boston has now become NXT TakeOver 30. Sadly, it seems right now, let's just say complications and no one can really get their act together for some things, but yeah. And what's all of SummerSlam weekend was supposed to take place in Boston because of this current pandemic and the fact that no one here can really get it under control. We have had to basically, or not we, if we were the ones in charge, we'd still have to, but they, WWE, have had to move back to Full Sail University behind closed doors. Yes, folks, sadly we're not getting a Thunderdome-like experience for this, but we're going to talk more about that when we get to SummerSlam. But for now, it's time for NXT TakeOver 30. Kind of feeling a little mixed on this card here, but there's still some exciting things here, and I'm still hoping this will be a good show. I'm Coffee Lover 239, and with me, as always, is our resident John Moxley stan, Steven. Say hi, Steven.
What's up, people? Everyone stay safe up.
Yeah, stay safe. And with that, let's go ahead and get into the main matches, or the match card itself. And our first match is Bronson Reed versus Damian Priest versus Cameron Grimes. And that is the only time I will do that, because if I do, I get into a habit of saying that as many times. But with the way Grimes says his own name, yeah. There's Johnny Gargano versus Velveteen Dream in a ladder match for the vacant NXT North American Championship. On the July 22nd episode of NXT, then double champion Keith Lee reflected on his career and all of the opportunities he had gotten and stated that he now wanted to pay it forward, so he voluntarily relinquished the NXT North American Championship to allow others to wrestle a chance at the title, while he would focus solely on defending the NXT Championship. As a result, NXT General Manager William Regal announced that there would be a series of triple threat matches set up as qualifiers for a 5-man ladder match to be held at NXT TakeOver 30 to crown a new North American champion. That same night, Bronson Reed defeated Roderick Strong and Johnny Gargano to become the first man to qualify for the match. The following week, Dexter Lumis joined Reed as the second person to qualify by defeating Timothy Thatcher and Finn Balor, but was later ruled out due to an ankle injury. On the August 5th episode, Damian Priest joined Reed as the third person to qualify by defeating Oney Lorcan and NXT UK's Ridge Holland. Due to Loomis' injury, Regal announced 2 singles matches that would take place to fill Loomis' spot and determine the final 2 competitors. The wrestlers in those matches will be the ones who were the ones who were neither pinned nor submitted in the triple threats. On the August 12th episode of NXT, Cameron Grimes joined Reed and Priest as the fourth person to qualify by defeating Kushida and the returning Velveteen Dream, the latter of whom turned heel after the match. The final 2 to qualify were Gargano and Dream by defeating Holland and Balor respectively. Well, when you look at this match, I mean, literally it could go any one of these 5 different lanes. Like, you had a 5-sided die. Literally it could go any friggin' way with the way they've been booking some of them. I mean, they've been making Big Boy Reed look pretty strong. Damian Priest as well would definitely be someone who could help elevate that title and, well, actually get himself into some meaningful action as well. Even Cameron Grimes, for whatever weird friggin' reason. Ugh. Though Gargano, I'm kind of shocked on one hand because, well, I've called him Johnny Whipping Boy before in the past, and what happened with him at TakeOver in Your House was no exception. But at the same time, it's like, geez, what the hell do you even do at this point? I don't know. And then you have the Velveteen Dream, who is returning, but has been in some, shall we say, personal issues that have come up over the thing, and the speaking out movement re-brought up old allegations, and it's a mess. I don't want to get into it. I'm not sure why. I was kind of hoping they would use some of the newer guard in here. That's why I was hoping that Ridge Holland would actually qualify for the match, even though that didn't happen. But I still won my 6-way qualifying match, and New Age wrestling despite this madness. But that's another topic for another time. Looking at this match card, I mean, I don't know. I mean, like I said, it could go any one of these ways. This is kind of a tough one to call. Steven, who do you think's gonna win?
The one and only, the only two-time North American champion he's gonna become a two-time is Johnny Gargano.
You say Gargano, huh? What makes you say that? I'm curious.
He's done a little lately, actually. To be honest, not to say kind of winning streak, but I mean, like, he's been doing pretty impressive lately.
I mean, with his heel turn and all, it's kind of brought some new life to him and kind of helped him reinvigorate himself because his old act was getting stale pretty fast. But I guess, I don't know about Gargano, though. I don't know. Like I said, this could go any way. If I just had to do a random roll, I'm gonna go with Damian Priest on this one. I feel like it's his time to get a shot with that title, and I feel he could definitely do some good stuff with it. So, I'm gonna go with Damian Priest on this one. And our next match is Io Shirai versus Dakota Kai for the NXT Women's Championship. So at TakeOver in Your House, Io Shirai defeated Rhea Ripley and then champion Charlotte Flair in a triple threat match to win the NXT Women's Championship, in which Charlotte did not get pinned at all, which is ridiculous. On the July 15th episode of NXT, after Shirai successfully defended against Tegan Nox, Dakota Kai attacked Shirai. On the August 5th episode, thanks to interference from the Robert Stone brand's Mercedes Martinez, Kai defeated Ripley to earn an opportunity against Shirai at TakeOver 30, after which Martinez attacked Ripley. Which that last part doesn't factor into anything, but it's still mentioned here because reasons. I do think I'm happy to have Io Shirai have the title back and all, or not the title back, finally winning the title, I should say. But then looking at this, it's still kind of in a early reign for her, because I mean, she won the belt at TakeOver in Your House, and has only held it for about 72 or so days. And yeah, just finally today, surpassing the lowest ranking one, NXT Women's Champ, Kairi Sane. Looking at this, though, I mean, she still has been pretty good with her stuff, going more between that tweener kind of ordeal, the look of a heel, but sometimes not fully heel. It's kind of crazy. Meanwhile, Dakota Kai, not only did she get a heavy for Raquel Gonzalez, as we saw back at TakeOver Portland, but also she reinvigorated herself as well, too, with a heel character. And, yeah, all Shirai really sees her as is that girl who was scared of Shayna Baszler when Baszler was tearing shit up in NXT. Steven, who do you think's gonna win?
Easy. It's not time to lose the title to you yet. She needs this title win still. She needs that title. Looks good so far.
So you're sticking with Io Shirai. Yeah,
Shirai.
you cut out there for a minute. I'm not sure, but yeah, I'm going with Io Shirai as well on this one. Clearly, she needs to have that strengthful reign here, and in due time for Dakota Kai, in due time for her, but now it's not the time. So, Io Shirai for the win on this one. In our next match, Adam Cole versus Pat McAfee. Oh boy. We have a goddamn outsider here. This is the type of crap they would do on the main roster, folks. And Pat McAfee...
Go
No,
ahead.
you go on.
Like when they did that Big Show and, what's his name? Mayweather fight.
Well,
WrestleMania.
Floyd Mayweather. Well, that at least had some decent story enough to it, at least. It actually was done well. That's not always a bad thing when you bring in an outsider, but here, you're doing it in NXT, which has never really needed to rely on such a thing beforehand. And on top of that, it really is a nobody. Pat McAfee was really only a former punter at most. And even then, I don't think he really made all much of a splash. It wasn't until he was doing pre-show stuff and some of this other stuff, and how the hell did we even get to this point? Well, on July 23rd, during Pat McAfee's radio program on CBS Sports Radio, Adam Cole got into an altercation with McAfee due to McAfee accusing Cole of hiding behind the Undisputed Era during his record NXT Championship reign and mocking Cole for a smaller statue, no doubt embracing what some of the older guard who just can't quite get into this nonsense in terms of fans who say that nonsense still does. Yeah, and resulted in Cole cussing out McAfee and shoving a producer. On the July 27th, during McAfee's radio show, NXT head Triple H offered McAfee the opportunity to work things out with Cole on the August 5th episode of NXT. During that episode, McAfee mocked Cole while serving as a guest commentator and got into another altercation, which ended with McAfee punting Cole in the head while Cole was being restrained before being thrown out of Full Sail University. The following day, Triple H issued a challenge to McAfee on behalf of Cole for a match at TakeOver 30 on the ESPN's Get Up, which McAfee later accepted in a video. I feel like the main issue is that this is taking more precedence. I don't think the build-up with the feud is the problem. It's just that it's taking more precedence for essentially against not really someone who is not all that well known, unlike when they've brought celebs in the past. And just, I don't know, just this is, I feel like it's getting more precedence and it's ridiculous. It's like, this is the type of crap, like I said, you see on the main roster, and it's been slowly seeping its way in NXT, and it's just, I don't know. I'm hoping after this that this is just a one-off and we can just put this to rest after this and just not try this again. Because is it really going to be worth it ultimately? I wouldn't say so, because NXT never needed to rely on this sort of thing beforehand. And I know that Cole and McAfee have had this thing running for a while, but why bring it up now? I don't get it. Steven, who do you think's going to win?
That's kind of cool. You know, you have a guy who's the longest reigning NXT champion. Pat's just there. You know, he's just there. You know.
Yeah. So I'm going with Adam Cole as well. I really don't see this going any other way unless they do some kind of bullshit finish, which for NXT would be ridiculous. But yeah, I'm going with Adam Cole on this one. Alright, after that madness, we go to our next match. Keith Lee versus Karrion Kross for the NXT Championship. And you see, there's no background information for it here on Wikipedia. Yeah, and yet there was for fucking Cole and McAfee. Whatever. Just, alright, let's just get in here to this match. And so, Lee elevated his game to new heights in 2020, gobbling up all the gold available, became NXT North American Champion in January, and picked up steam before knocking off Adam Cole to capture the NXT title and reach the top of the mountain in NXT. But Kross has carved out an unprecedented path of destruction ever since his arrival on the Black and Gold brand, laying waste to the likes of Tommaso Ciampa, Dominik Dijakovic, Bronson Reed, and most recently, Danny Burch. Kross has looked nothing less than unstoppable, with Kross vowing to continue decimating superstars left and right until Lee gave him this opportunity. The Limitless One finally acquiesced, I cannot quite pronounce this word, but he relented, incensed, especially by the damage that had done to his good friend Dijakovic. But when Lee put pen to paper to make the match official, boom! The contract, he was blindsided by a fireball attack plotted by Kross and Scarlett, though no serious damage was reported. Does the incident hurt Lee's chances to retain the title? I don't know, but I'll tell you this, big man, or big boy as Brock would call Lee with the Rumble, big boy, and yeah, for the gold. It's kind of a complicated situation when you really look at this madness here. When you take a look at this, seeing as how, oh god, someone's fucked up. Someone fucked up a thing over here, and it's a little messy right now on the wiki, but it's only been about, at least if I'm to believe, for about, what, 50 days? Only 43 recognized by WWE, given that Lee's win was aired on a tape delay. Ultimately, I'm kind of a little mixed, because you have Kross, who you've been building up pretty strongly for the most part here. Like I said, just decimating through the roster, just unstoppable.
Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah, I already said it all, Mox. On the other hand, it's still early for Keith Lee's reign, but it's like complicated. Like, what do you do? Do you make him just a transitional champion because of rumors of a possible imminent call up to the main roster, seeing as how he could do great things, or do you still keep him down a little longer and risk Cross? Because I just don't know. It's kind of tough to call again. Steven, who do you think is going to win?
He's going to stay in NXT for a while and put in the main roster maybe later on, team up with Matt Riddle on
Survivor
SmackDown.
Series or something maybe after that?
Probably something around there.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't think Killer Cross should win this match as of now.
No, I mean, it's kind of a tough spot. I mean, he's still being built up pretty damn strong, though. And wouldn't him losing this kind of undermine all that work he's done, just tearing through everyone that he's already torn through? Especially if what he did to Dijakovic, man. That shit there just made him look like a fucking machine. And you're really gonna risk all that? I don't know. Like, I wouldn't risk that at all. But at the same time, I don't know. And there's been a leaked thing with Cross holding the belt that someone somewhere on social media, on Instagram, posted but was deleted. So who knows? Just like when one half of that guy of Indus-Share, I forget who exactly, but leaked Keith Lee's initial win. Oh, damn it. I don't know. You know what? I'm feeling a little risky right now. So you know what? I'm actually going to go with Cross on this one. There's no way in hell you can undermine all of that madness.
Serious? Wow.
Yeah, man. You can't risk the madness, man.
I know. That's just a crazy pick.
It's like what happened. Well, Velveteen Dream would have been a crazy pick on this week's NXT episode, or yesterday's, considering it's a Thursday. It's after the go home, like before this show aired, like when it was Velveteen Dream versus Finn Balor. I'm like, you just turned Dream heel when you brought him back. You're not going to have him lose this early on. I hate to see Balor take the loss, but ultimately, yeah, and that's what happened. So who's to say the same thing doesn't happen here? Yeah, I know, it's crazy, but like I said, I was feeling a little risky, so yeah, we're splitting on this one. And our next match is Breezango, Fandango and Tyler Breeze, versus Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch, versus Legato del Phantasma, Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Wilde, in a triple threat tag team match to determine the number one contenders for the NXT Tag Team Championship. So back to the WWE page, because it's not there on Wikipedia. Tyler Breeze and Fandango came up short in a previous bout against Marcel Barthel and Fabian Eichner, despite a valiant effort. However, the Debonair duo proved they have what it takes to hang with the champs, and they would surely look to maximize a second chance. Burch and Lorcan have had their eyes on Barthel and Eichner's goal, for months, and are one step away from potentially winning their first championships. The Brit Am Brawler's hard-hitting style represents a challenging matchup for their opponents in this match and in a possible future date with Imperia. Wilde and Mendoza have been instrumental in Santos Escobar's dominant run as NXT Cruiserweight Champion. Perhaps the only team able to match Imperia's ruthlessness. Might they add even more gold to Legato del Phantasma? I'm not sure on this one either as well. The tag division has been taking a little bit of a back seat compared to everything going on. It's not been a complete mess like it has been on the main roster, but it's just not really feeling all that special at the moment. At least we have some teams, mostly legitimate, all legitimate, unlike, on the main roster where they'll just take two guys and just randomly pair them up together. Yeah. Steven, who do you think's gonna win?
Breezango. I know. Breezango. I'm going for Breezango.
What makes you say them?
To win the titles. They need to win. They almost had the SmackDown tag titles at one point, but they need this NXT titles. I want them as having the titles. Tyler Breeze is the current up-down champion.
Yeah. You know, it's kind of sad that Breezango hasn't really been booked strong, to be honest, though. Like, you thought they'd go back in NXT to escape this madness on the main roster, but no. Seeing as how, unfortunately, things have not been strong for them either, I don't know. Only Lorcan and Danny Burch, I'm not sure they really need it, but Legato del Phantasma have looked pretty strong as of late, and won that 6-man tag on the go home. So I don't know. If we were to go by that logic, they may not actually do it here, but I don't know. I don't see Imperium dropping that, and they really haven't either had a shot. Lorcan and Birch might have at one point, but I don't know. You know what? Even though this is probably against all that should be done, I'm just gonna also go with I'm gonna go with Legato del Phantasma. I mean, you already have them looking strong as well as their leader. Why not have them look strong as well? And I mean, it doesn't probably matter too much if they're gonna keep the belts on Imperium any longer. So
Is that the one with the cruiserweight champion? What's
yeah, Santos Escobar. Yeah, that's his name. Yeah, and that is Legato del Phantasma, led by Escobar. But yeah, I'm going with Legato del Phantasma. And last but certainly not least, Finn Balor versus Timothy Thatcher. As ordered by NXT General Manager William Regal, Finn Balor will take on Thatcher at NXT TakeOver 30 in what figures to be a heated bout after Thatcher cost the Prince a chance to become North American Champion, even though that match was going to shit when old Cameron Grimes showed up and then others started showing up and it all just kind of went to hell from there. But in Thatcher's mind, Balor already cost him as well. The pugnacious technician had the Prince locked in an Achilles hold last month in a triple threat match to qualify for the North American title ladder match. However, with Thatcher preoccupied, Dexter Loomis applied silence for a victory over Thatcher by technical submission. Balor had one more chance to qualify when he took on the Velveteen Dream this past Wednesday, but Thatcher intervened to ensure that he wouldn't. The Prince has been laser focused in recent weeks on seizing one accolade missing from his NXT resume, the North American title. What price might Thatcher pay for ruining Balor's plans? Well, I'm not sure, really, because, again, another booking into a corner situation. Boy, I feel like we've been getting quite a couple of these on this show here, or we will. When you look at it here, Balor really hasn't actually done too much with his return to NXT, like from a title standpoint. I know he's had a feud with Gargano and a bunch of other people and stuff, but for the most part, I'm not really sure what to make of all of this, quite frankly. And and Thatcher has also had his own on the ring or uprising, with him being the one to take out Matt Riddle on NXT and basically kick him to the main roster. I don't know. It's really tough. There's nothing else too major, but other than the blood feud and the fact that both of them have costed each other things. So, yeah. Steven, who do you think's gonna win?
Two great, powerful superstars right here. I like Timothy Thatcher with this match with Matt Riddle and that Nebula steel cage match.
It was a fight pit.
Yeah, that match. And Finn Balor, he was at one point the longest NXT champion at one point. Finn Balor, why not? He lost recently during that match with Velveteen, which is I thought Finn would win that match, but I think Finn's gonna win on this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with you on this one as well, Finn Balor, with nothing too major other than some of the other blood stuff. Like, I'm sure Thatcher can probably still recover early on, but Balor, man, they need to do more stuff with him here in NXT, like get him involved in other stuff. I'd like to see some more title stuff, to be honest. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Balor on this one as well. Well, there you go, folks. A little bit of some mixed stuff and some things that have me a little uneasy, but for the most part, this should be a solid show, hopefully. Hopefully, a little bit of a step up from In Your House, considering it's probably the weakest out of all the takeovers. Not to say it was a bad show, but it could have been better. Hopefully, this one picks up some of the slack, and yeah, we'll see. I want to thank Steven here for being with me. Say bye, Steven.
guys, we'll see you at SummerSlam.
Yes, SummerSlam, where the so-called Thunderdome will make its pay-per-view debut. Oh boy, that is gonna be something. And go hit up my Twitch as well, because I'm for Friday, because I'm going to be doing a live watch-along where the Thunderdome will make its debut on this Friday SmackDown. Because this I gotta see, because this is gonna be something. But until then, what?
It's gonna be huge!
Yes, so stay tuned for that, and we'll see you when we see ya. Bye for now.